Good morning, YouTube. Good morning. Morning. Get the market opening in 12 minutes. We're going to have some snow in Texas next week. It's going to snow. Let's go. Bring it. I'm ready for it. I like snow. Next Wednesday, as in not tomorrow, but the following Wednesday, the temperatures are going down to into the 20s. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 55% chance of snow on Wednesday. That should be fun. As you can see, we had some numbers at 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 if you're on the East Coast, driving the price up from 20,961 up to 21,136. About 150 point data candle there. Looking at it on the 1 minute chart. There we go. Through that pivot point, and then now we're back below the pivot point. See what happens here when the market opens. We got no more news this morning. We had a speech at 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. And that's about it for the morning. So we'll just be conscious of that at 9 a.m. that we do have somebody speaking. Other than that, everything is as normal. We're going to stick to our rules again, just like we did yesterday. Good morning, Sharif. All right. Turning the chat off, though. Not meaning that you can't talk in the chat, but I'm not going to be reading it. So good morning. I hope everybody has a good day trading today. If you're trading, if you're not, still hope you have a good day. I'm going to be focused on the charts for the next hour or two, and that's pretty much it. All right, we're going to read January 14th daily devotion out of our Daily Strength for Men book, which is a 365-day devotional book. I know this channel's about trading, but figure what the heck, if I read this every day to myself, might as well just read it live on YouTube there too. You don't have to listen if you don't want to, but I'm going to just read it out loud. So we're on day 2 here. January 14th is a passage verse from Genesis 9, chapter 1, verse 8 through 16. God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth." Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, "As for me, I am establishing my covenant with you and your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the domestic animals, and every animal of the earth with you. As many as came out of the ark, I establish my covenant with you, that never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of a flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth." God said, "This is the sign of the covenant that I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you. For all future generations, I have set my bow in the clouds, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth and the bow is seen in the clouds, I will remember my covenant that is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on earth." Questions for reflection and application. Does the flood seem out of character for God? Why or why not? Have you ever seen something that you knew was a clear sign from God? If so, what was it? If not, do you think that you have missed signals from God, or do you think that God has not given you a sign? What promises has God made to you? What evidence do you have that God keeps the promises that he makes to you? In what situations is it difficult for you to feel that God is looking out for you? What should you do in those situations? And God, whether I'm in a flood or under a rainbow, help me to remember that you keep your promises always. Amen. Now we got 5 more minutes till the market opens. We're going to jump into the 5 truths of trading and the 7 principles of consistency again. I'm going to read this every day, every morning for the next couple weeks until I almost have it memorized. So truth number 1, anything can happen. Truth number 2, you don't need to know what is going to happen next in order to make money. That goes back to the whole casino thing. Like, we just need to know that we're going to win more than we're going to lose. So today could be a red day, it could be a green day, anything can happen. We don't need to know that we're going to win or lose. We just need to know that over the long run, if we continue to follow our edge, we're going to make money. So truth number 3, there's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. Truth number 4, an edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. And number 5, every moment in the market is unique. So that's our 5 truths of trading. And then we have our 7 principles of consistency. I am a consistent winner because 1, I objectively identify my edges. 2, I predefine the risk of every trade. 3, I completely accept risk, or I'm willing to let go of a trade. 4, I act on my edges without reservation or hesitation. 5, I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. 6, I continually monitor my susceptibility for making errors. And 7, I understand the absolute necessity of these principles of consistent success, and therefore I never violate them. That's the 7 principles of consistency. And the 5 fundamental truths. If you have any questions about what I just read or what those truths and principles mean to me and how I implement them in trading, put a comment below or message something in the chat what you think, if you agree, if you disagree, if you have any questions, or what you think about what I just said and how you think that can help you with your trading, and maybe just changing the way you think and believe trading works to ultimately lead to success. It's changed the way I think. It's helped me feel less emotional when I'm trading because I know those truths to be true. So if anything can happen, then when I think I've done my technical analysis on the chart and I think there's a good chance that this is going to happen, I can still go back to that first truth, which is anything can happen, which means I could lose or I could win. And so if I know that's the truth, then I don't get anxious or worried because there's no guarantee. And then if you couple that with the second one, which is you don't need to know what's going to happen next to make money, if that's true, then why are you stressed about trying to predict and know what's happening next? If you know that it's true that you can still make money in the long run without knowing what's going to happen next. And then following that is it's talking about edge. The reason why that second truth is true is because of the 3rd and 4th truth, which is that there's a random set of wins and losses even when you have an edge that you're implementing. So that's why you should never get upset or anxious or feel bad when you have a red day, because you know that it's a random wins and losses, but there's going to be more wins than losses if you have an edge that gives you a favorable probability of one thing happening over another. And that's all it is. That summarizes trading right there, a successful trader. So there we go. Market's open. Market is open for business. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second because I just realized that I still got to log in to Tradeovate, which I think I could have done this without stop sharing my screen because it doesn't show my password, but just rather be safe. There we go. There we go. Market's open. No trades for the day. Just logged in. We're We're going to be trading 6 micro contracts again today when we're ready. Exit out of this thing that's distracting over there. There we go. So we get the 15-minute chart pulled up here. We're going to mark the high and the low of this once it closes in 14 minutes. And then do our thing, man. It's like Groundhog's Day, just doing the same thing every day. It does kind of get, I don't want to say boring, but this is our job. Like, once you know when trading gets boring and you're just consistently making money, that's when you know that you kind of like figured it out, probably. It's like, all right, I gotta wake up again and look at these candles and do the same thing and just get my money and get out, or take my little loss and then get out. So and then go about the rest of my day. Key levels indicator's been acting a little funky between yesterday and today. I saw it just pop up there, but it's supposed to be telling us the high and the low of this candle, and for some reason it's not, which isn't a big deal. I can still mark the top and the bottom. I don't know why it's doing that. I might have to reset trading view or something. I'm going to do that after the stream if I remember. Well, we got that big 7:30 Texas time candle that we're dealing with there. Which is almost at the same high as pre-market, up there at the 140s. We can get through there. Maybe bulls can. We got another pivot point at 21,235. You know, we got VWAP, the 21 EMA, and the price all kind of near each other right now. VWAP 21,050. What is it? VWAP's different on the 15-minute chart, maybe? Oh, yeah, it's different time frame. Duh, I should know that. 21,051. 2 minutes, 21,055. 1 minute, 21,056. The pivot points stay the same between the 1, 2, 5, and 15 minute. The pivot points only change when you go up to the hourly chart. Pulling up the hourly chart, we're still looking. Oh no, that might have been a higher low there. Maybe we're going to start heading back up. No, I don't know. Because truth number one is anything can happen. Predict what the market's going to do. There's no sense in doing that, because then you get like an emotional bias as to what you think you're going to see it do, which is kind of silly to do to yourself when one of the truths is that anything can happen every moment in the market's unique. So there's no sense in even doing that. We get too caught up trying to do that. It takes you away from living in the now when you're trying to predict what it's going to do. So people think, is it that the entire point? You're trying to predict what the market's going to do? No, actually, it's not. It's not what we're trying to do. It's not what I'm trying to do, at least. We're trying to get 20 trades here over the next couple weeks to analyze how this new kind of style of trading, a new mentality and attitude towards how trading works, how it plays out. I think 20 trades is a good sample size for testing something. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's a good amount of trades as long as we follow it. So far, we did well yesterday. And not just because we had a green day. That's not why I'm saying that. I'm saying it because we did follow our rules. Whether we had a green day or a red day, yesterday was a good day. We followed our rules. So we're going to do that for 19 more trades. And we'll see what kind of win rate we get and what kind of risk to reward we get. I think that'll help us transition into a funded account too, because when people pass an evaluation and they get into a funded account, they get a little bit more stressed out and it gets into their head a little bit more because now they know there's real money on the line. But if you just continue with the same method and same discipline and same rules, and you're rigid with your rules during that transition from evaluation to funded, nothing should change then. You should just be doing the same thing you've already been doing. So I think with this set of principles of consistency and fundamental truths of trading implemented and written down in front of us, in a book that I'm reading every day, that'll help us when we go from an eval to a funded account to just continue doing the same thing. The other thing I did was I scaled down the amount of contracts. Instead of trading 1 to 2 minis, I'm trading micros. We're only trading 6, then we'll go to 12, and then to 18. We'll slowly scale that up. And that'll help us scale out of winning positions better. That worked out well yesterday. So we only caught a 1-to-1. Ideally, on winning trades, I want to see more of like a 1-to-2, but hey, I'll take it. It was still over a 1-to-1, which is like obviously our bare minimum, but eventually I'd like a 1-to-2 to be our kind of minimum. But market's always going to be unique and different. Not, every opportunity and setup's going to play out a little bit differently. Some are going to be larger than others. We did a good job at just scaling out and taking partial profits during that trade. So we'll see what happens today. We got another 6 minutes left in this opening 15-minute candle that's starting to push up here now. And then we got a Fed speech in 22 minutes. So there we go, testing the 21,120s there. It looks like our indicator just keeps turning on and on for today's highs high over there. I don't know why it's doing that, but it's all good. Ain't a big deal. There's a 5-minute chart and there's the 2-minute chart. And it dipped down and open and then just pushed on up there. Nice 30-point push above this pivot point there. So far getting stuck at like the 122 area. Another 3 minutes left. There we go, pushing back into the 120s. See if we can get to the 130s. No coffee or no tea. That's why you see me yawning. Just depending on my sleep that I got.
You build equity in your home.
Try to reduce the amount of caffeine so I'm not as jittery and jumpy and euphoric and overconfident or wild and crazy, and just trying to stay chill. But you gotta stay awake and focused too. Did kind of sleep in a little bit today. It was up until like almost 11 p.m. Central Time. Didn't get out of bed until like an hour ago. Went back down to the 21,090s. There's the 80s. Getting stuck there at almost 130. I think we saw there. 50 seconds here. So we'll draw our line here. I think we got stuck at like 129 area. See if it draws in on the 2-minute chart. Yesterday, like took a minute to come over to the 2-minute chart. And we got our low down there at like 18. Try to push it up here. 10 seconds left. There we go. There's our 15-minute range up there. There now our indicators working for 21,129, and I can't read the other one, but see if our lines came over. There we go. We got that pivot point right there where the price is at like 21,092, VWAP at 21,060, and we got the 21 EMA in between VWAP and that pivot point. Another pivot point to the upside at 21,236. So that would kind of be our target area if we get a bull flag up here and a nice pullback to the 21 EMA. If we can get through this 21,140s area, and then we got some support to the downside at 20,940s and a pivot point at 20,892. So we just got to kind of sit back and wait. We do have that speech. They might be waiting another 14 minutes for that speech. So nothing wrong with kind of sitting on the 15-minute chart, maybe some more, and waiting for this candle to close as well. Because if we look at our data here on all of our successful trades, most of them happen between 9 and 10 a.m. Texas time. I think only one's happened after 10, and only one has happened before 9. So, and that's after logging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 trades, which is a good sample size. Only one's happened before 9 a.m. Texas time and one after 10 a.m. So with this speech coming in 13 minutes, there's nothing wrong with kind of waiting until after that guy starts talking and seeing what that does to the market, and then looking for our bull flag and bear flags outside of this 15-minute range. So I think that's what we're going to do. Just going to be patient tomorrow. Let's see what kind of news we got tomorrow. Got another speech at the same time. And then that's it. Just some crude oil news 30 minutes after that. So kind of the same deal tomorrow. So speech. Yeah. So let's see what happens here in 12 minutes with this with this one. There you go. Price coming below VWAP now. Kind of choppy so far in this. Kind of got this range going since that 7:30 data candle. This is where you get tore up if you're trying to trade this and you don't know what you're doing. This is why we wait. I don't trade that because I don't know. Maybe you know how to trade that, but I don't. So if I don't know how to do it, I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna exercise caution, risk management, sticking to our discipline and our rules, being rigid with our rules and flexible with our expectations of what the market's going to do, because anything can happen. So eventually I'm going to get a better microphone, better camera, maybe one more monitor here. Then I was thinking, when I start my ideal life and dream life, desired reality that I'm going to achieve is I'll be day trading on the go. I'll be in hotels and traveling in other countries. I'm not going to bring my whole camera and microphone, and I don't know. I might have to bring more of like a portable microphone that just kind of sits on the table, like a high quality one of those. And the camera on the laptop on the MacBook isn't that great, so I don't know. Because ideally, if I was rich and had millions of dollars, I would be traveling around, not just trading from the same spot every day. Be doing more vlogs then. excited to do that fresh brain day. You know, in a different location, traveling. And then all the vacations all write off for taxes. It's a business expense if I'm day trading while I'm on the vacation. It's not even a vacation then, it's just my life. It would become my life. What's the definition of vacation? We got another 9 minutes we're waiting anyway. Oh, what was the definition of vacation? A period spent away from home or business in travel or recreation. Yeah, well, it wouldn't really be a vacation then because we'd be trading still. Still be running our business, so it would just be life. You'd be singing that song. I forget what the name of the group is. Vacation. I'm on vacation every single day because I love my occupation. Singing that. Here we go. Market just kind of chopping along VWAP. Chopping along the VWAP inside the range below that pivot point there. Just kind of just doing its thing. Doing its thing. They're at the 21,050s. There's the 4Ds. Pushing on down. Trying. Keep the screen open to protect ourselves from getting silly before this candle closes. Another 7 minutes. It could just rip through the bottom of the range, so, but it doesn't really follow our entry method for getting into a trade close to the 21 EMA. There's the 1 minute chart right there. She could just start to push on down. We break through that range. It could be a fake out though and just pull right back up inside. You know, I don't think they're going to do anything too crazy before this guy starts talking, but you never know because anything can happen. There we go. There's the break of the 15-minute range there. There we go. Almost 20 points below the range. There she goes. Boom. There she goes. That's what we like to see. We like to see it get out of that range, so that's good. But it could just pull back up and go out the top of the range too. We've seen that happen. So we're just kind of waiting. Waiting some more. Got a new couch coming for the RV. That's pretty exciting, you know. I don't know when it'll be here, but you know, it's good to have couches. Couches are good. Instead of just having the bed and my chair here. When the restaurant's open, I spend a lot of time there though, so I'm either sleeping, trading, working at the restaurant, running errands, food shopping or something, doing laundry. So no plans for today. The restaurant's closed, so after I'm done trading, we'll be on here for at least possibly another hour, maybe less. Yesterday's stream was pretty quick. We got a winning trade at our entry was at 9:04 a.m. So we were done early yesterday. And then there's the possibility of no trade. In the past 29 trading days, market was closed that day, and then there was no trade on January 8th, nothing on January 3rd, nothing on December 31st, nothing on December 26th. But those are also like holiday days, so the market's kind of weird around the holidays. There's definitely going to be some more opportunities coming up now that we're into the new year. We got Donald Trump going into office in 6 days. So definitely going to be more volatility in the markets coming in probably, and which is good for momentum traders. It's what we like. And price kind of testing with the bottom of the range again. Yeah, I just think as time goes on and the Nasdaq continues to grow, it's just going to be more and more volatile. Just we will continue to be able to make money, which is pretty cool. If you think about it, we're trading micros right now. Like as the Nasdaq continues to grow to 22,000, 23,000, 24,000, like these micro contracts are valued at more and more. If the market's moving more points in a day, so nothing wrong with trading micros. I just was kind of resistant on going back to micros from minis. So I gave the minis a try and we're back to micros. I think if you're just nervous when you're in a trade, like you're too over leveraged and sized up, just size down and you won't feel as stressed out. And then you couple that with the fundamental truths that we know about how the market works, that anything can happen and it's unique and you don't need to know what's going to happen next to make money. Then between that and scaling down a little bit just helps with your psychology and your emotions and stuff. There we go, market pushing down, testing the 980s now. We got that speech starting in 2 minutes. We're not just going to jump into a trade though. If the market starts going up or down, we're going to still wait for our bear flags and bull flags. Market pushing down some more 1 minute before the news. There's the 2 minute. Kind of got this data candle acting as like a range as well. You know, slightly above the 15-minute range. There at that like 21,138 area. And then the bottom 20,948. Five seconds till this guy starts talking. It's amazing how like one guy talking can just move the market and we all have to like kind of wait and pay attention to see if it's going to do anything. Like, I don't know, that kind of fascinates me. You just got to be aware of it. Be careful if you're in any positions at the time. Maybe get out of them or there we go. That speech is going on right now. It's not like a super high impact kind of speech on the market though, so we might not even see a lot of movement from it so far. I don't see anything crazy yet. Still, market's still ticking like it just was. So there it is. Now we're just gonna wait for our setups. We got that hourly candle just closed, and so now we're just waiting for kind of like a nice pullback to the 21 EMA and then continuation possibly to the downside. But That doesn't have to happen, you know. Just gotta sit here and wait. See what happens over the next 5-10 minutes here, and keep waiting some more. Might not get our setup for another 50 minutes from now. I don't know. I have no idea. You look at the 21 EMA relationship with VWAP, we crossed above it and then below it. If we can kind of maintain that, maybe the bears, and drive the price down to this pivot point down here, but it doesn't have to happen. Kind of like would be curious if it does something like this. You know, I don't know. We don't know. Right now we're trying to work our way back to the 21 EMA on the 2 minute, which is a healthy pullback here that we would be looking for. So it kind of chops along this and then kind of breaks out. Don't know. That's what it looks like on the 1 minute. But I usually like to see a breakout on the 2 minute too, so I don't know. Don't know. With this candle over here. Oh, I don't want to get too narrow focused on just the 1 minute here. Kind of like to see a breakout on the 2 minute. It's kind of one of the rules. So if we go back to yesterday, we got above the 15-minute range. We had this pivot point VWAP up here. We pulled back to the 21 EMA and touched it, and then kind of got long, like in this area, and then just got this quick pop up, couple minute trade. But we waited to see it break out on the 2 minute. And then if we go back to Friday, what happened on Friday? Friday we got a bull flag at like 9:46 Texas time. We pushed up back inside the range, pulled back to the 21 EMA almost, not really, and then broke out and got this push back up to VWAP on Friday, but I was waiting for the breakout on the 2 minute. So each time we're usually waiting for a breakout on the 2 minute. I don't want to get stuck in here because this could be acting as a floor too. Like I'm looking for traps, basically. Like where are the traps? You know, like kind of have this like support area that this price could act as. You know, it's like, do I want to get trapped here? Do I want to get trapped in here? Like it's got, I don't know. It's like, not really. There's the 21 EMA on the 2 minute, probably pushing up above on the 1 minute now a little bit. See where this candle closes. Could have been a fake out to the downside, and we could start, if we started closing above VWAP. I don't know. Gotta get like out up here if we're gonna look for any longs. Just sit back and be patient. It's not really the sexiest looking bear flag anymore. Oh, you kind of have to find a couple reasons why. But even with all this technical analysis, see what I'm doing here? I'm like really trying to predict what it's going to do, basically. That's what all these indicators and all these different things. But again, it's just me objectively identifying my edge. So, which is the number one rule to being a consistent winner. But even when you objectively identify your edge, anything can still happen, and you don't need to know what's going to happen next to make money. And every moment in the market's unique. However, you're still going to objectively identify your edge and follow your rules, even with all that being said, and understand that there's a random distribution of wins and losses. Even when you do go to do it, you could lose, you could win. I know that might sound like kind of contradicting information, but if you put it all together over the long term of 20 trades, that's what leads to profitability. You think in terms of probability, like a casino owner. You don't need to know that when the guy sits down to play blackjack that you're going to win and beat him. You just need to know that, hey, when 20 different people sit down and play blackjack at our table, we win more than we lose. That's all that matters. If that's true and that's what's happening, then who cares about what's happening on each individual game of blackjack? Who cares? You don't get stressed out when you lose. You're like, that's fine. We just lost that one. Cool. Looking forward to the next person sitting down then, because eventually we're going to win, and we win more than we lose. So who cares if we just lost a trade, right? That's how you need to think as a trader, just like if you owned a casino. Instead, people have it switched in their brain, and they act like gamblers, think like gamblers, and think that they need to try to predict and know what the market's going to do to make money in the market. It's just not true. So we're pulling back into the 15-minute range here above VWAP. We'll see where this 2-minute candle closes. It could be problems for the bears. The bulls may step in here and bring the price up. If they can get the price to recover from it just breaking below the 15-minute range like that, there's a high probability, again, not a guarantee, that the price will continue in this direction and get outside of the 15-minute range up to the upside. And then we still need to see a bull flag, like a nice healthy pullback to the 21 EMA and that continuation up to this pivot point up here. But again, we don't know. Even when we think that's what's going to happen, we still don't know with full certainty. That's it. This is like kind of how you need to like think about trading according to this book. You know, I'm not a professional, but the people that wrote that book certainly are. And I mean, it all makes sense to me after I read it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting. You know, so let's implement it and see how it goes over 20 trades. Market on the 2-minute just closed above VWAP. Pull up the 1-minute chart here. We are pushing above the 21 EMA now, so no longer really liking this bear flag anymore. So we'll just delete that off of our screen. Yeah, might as well draw this floor over to 10. We're not going to be trading past that time anyway. So this blue floor is almost acting as like a shot clock. where we won't be trading past this time, even though the market's open all day and I'm not working at the restaurant. I really want to try to stick to having a 2-hour trading window of just trading, being at my desk from 8 to 10, 9 to 11 if you're on the East Coast, and then having the rest of the day to move on, get away from the computer, step away from the desk, log out. If that means I have to get in my truck and drive down the road, so be it. Whether I'm green or red, just step away from the desk. I think sometimes we'll save people from going on tilt, making a bunch of bad decisions, over trading. You can't trade if you don't have the tools to place a trade. I mean, I know now we can place trades on our phones too, but if I'm not at my desk, I'm definitely not going to have the impulse to trade. And a lot of the times I've traded on these accounts for over a month before blowing them up, and then I'll just have one day where I go on tilt. So I think sticking to that, and a lot of times that happened in the afternoon, like where I just traded too many trades. If we add that rule of like kind of leaving our desk at 10 a.m. and only placing one trade, how can you blow up an account? If you have a predefined amount of risk per trade based off of what the chart's showing you and your position size and the candles, and you take one trade and lose and then you're done, like how can you go on tilt and blow up an account? You can't then, unless your edge is just terrible and you didn't, or you're not following your edge and you have like a bunch of losses in a row. Otherwise, like you really can't lose in the long term then if you follow that, if you follow everything we've been talking about. So right now it looks like the bulls are stepping in. We'll see here in a minute, but usually once the price starts closing above this halfway point after it fakes out to one side or the other, it kind of continues with this momentum in that direction. So far the market's been really choppy since that pre-market news. Just a good old Tuesday in the Nasdaq. Oh, just to pull it right back down. Look at that. What is going on? It's 9:13 Central Time. We got to stay focused here, though. We got another 46 minutes left to do our job, and then the rest of the day we can relax and chill. So we got to stay focused here, pay attention for another 46 minutes. I'm not looking at the chat on YouTube. If you guys are commenting or saying anything, I don't even have it pulled up on my screen right now. I'll get back to y'all after we're done. So that's a new thing that I also started doing yesterday. We're going to keep that going for the next couple of weeks, see how that works. Yeah, I just don't like the idea of placing any trades inside this range. We got a lot going on. We got this pivot point. We're inside the 15-minute range. We got that data candle at pre-market that's kind of holding the price down possibly. Like we got to get outside of these areas before I consider taking any trades. You just got to be picky. You got to be to have a good win rate and a consistent high win rate. Doesn't mean you're always going to win, but this is what leads to like a consistent high win rate, is doing all the things that you see me doing right now. So it may not be fun or entertaining watching me place no trades yet, but this is how you got to be to make the money. Excuse me. Oh, yes. There we go, trying to push on up again. Top of the range. Let's see what happens. 21 EMA crossing overview up again. This is kind of, squirrely to see the 21 EMA go above view up, test it, come below it, and then start crossing over again. Like, this is really rangy, really choppy, and so far, just up until now, that's what I'm seeing. We're all looking at the same thing. We're all looking, everybody that's got the Nasdaq pulled up right now in the whole world is looking at the same information. We are just perceiving it differently, each and every one of us, possibly. But we're looking at the same candles. Mine might be a different color than yours, but it's the same information. So if some people can consistently make money and some people consistently lose money, why is the person consistently winning money while the other person's losing when they're both looking at the same chart? Obviously, the person that's winning money is just thinking differently than the other person. So if you're losing, you need to change your thoughts. That's the difference between you and the person that's winning. They're not smarter necessarily. They're not better than you. They're just thinking differently. So we got all the way until the end of this blue box to place a trade or no trade. So just gotta be patient. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Still waiting for the Nasdaq to make some moves. What you gonna do when the Nasdaq comes for you? You gonna be ready? You gonna be ready? Oh, we're pulling back down to the 21 EMA. Maybe. The reason I don't like this is a bull flag because we're still underneath the top of the range. So yeah, you could take some quick scalps throughout like all of this probably if you were a scalp genius and just had a very good feel for the market, but I'm not experienced enough to have that good of a feel for the market. A lot of times when I try to do that, it gets me in trouble. So, you gotta be careful doing that. As you can see, the market moves in waves. However, these waves are kind of just going sideways. It's not like really trending bearish or bullish. So if there's no trend, it's kind of hard to determine a long or short bias. So that's why you haven't seen me do anything yet. how the day starts sometimes with the Nasdaq, you know. Doesn't mean it stays like this forever. That means the market's pretty balanced right now. The market is pretty balanced. We need imbalances and volatility to make money with our strategy. So, and momentum. There's not a whole lot of news today, I guess. Looking at the bigger picture here, the hourly, we're just kind of chopping in here. It's like, I don't want to get long right below and here below the top of this range. I don't want to get long in here below this pivot point, especially if there's no trend inside the range. Like, these are all like check marks for like why it's like I don't want to place a trade, right? Until like all those are gone, then it's like now we have our edge, which is just a probability that this will happen over the other. It's not a guarantee. Then we enter. But now we're pulling back below VWAP. Like this is beautiful. I love it. I love how balanced the market is right now. It looks like art. It's like art. We're like forming like an M. Looks like an M. Or not really an M, because that would be down here. It's like here, like a smiley face. That's how you know when you're bored. You just start drawing stuff on the chart. Like, all right, what is going on here? You know, we're just waiting. You gotta have fun. You see why we didn't get long now? Just for it to shoot down. So I didn't want to get long. And we're gonna fight the urge to, like, if this happens for another 30 minutes, to like thinking we just need to place a trade because like we feel like it feels good to like place a trade and finally take action versus like no action for a whole session. But anytime I've done that, like it screws me. The feeling of regret is a lot worse than like, what would my future self thank me for? My future self would thank me if we end up not seeing a setup, taking no trade. My future self will not thank me if I'm impatient, don't follow the rules, take a trade and lose money. I'm going to be thinking about that for hours until tomorrow. That's what I don't want. If you can go through life, every time you're about to take action with something, like, is my future self going to thank me for this? If the answer is not yes, then do not do it. Whatever you were thinking about doing, not just trading, just anything in life. Or is this going to benefit my family? Is this going to benefit the people around me that support me and care for me and love me and are in my life? Because usually it's one or the other. Your decision's either going to help them or it's going to hurt them. It's usually not like neutral. Sometimes I guess decisions in life are neutral and you got to try stuff to see if it works. But we already know that not following our rules like doesn't lead to consistency. So I don't need to try that. We've already been doing trading for months now and I've seen that. So something I already know. But if it's not going to help your team, whether that's your kids or your spouse or family or parents or your neighbors, then it's gonna hurt them then. That's why I don't drink alcohol anymore. That doesn't benefit people around me. Sometimes it might be neutral, but sometimes it can hurt the people around me. So that's why I just don't do it anymore. And I'm a volunteer firefighter now too, so I have to be ready to respond to calls. Like if I get a call right now, I would stop the session live and go to the fire department, throw my jacket and boots and pants on and jump in the truck and go to the fire. And if I was drinking, let's say it was nighttime and I was drinking, and then I couldn't go to that call because I'm drunk, that didn't benefit my neighbors and the people that needed help. Yeah, sure, there's other firefighters that'll go and they'll help. Like they'll be all right. We have a big team of men and women that are volunteer firefighters, but I would want to be ready like 24/7, 365 to help people around me. And you can only do that when you're not drinking or doing drugs, or when you're taking care of your body. I exercise, get good sleep. Trading's like kind of the same thing. Like you got to stick to your rules and think about what you're doing before you do it. Obviously, it's probably sounds like common sense and like a no-brainer, but like ask yourself the question: if you're not consistent in profitability and getting payouts, like have you been doing that every day? The answer is probably no. Otherwise, you would be getting payouts. I haven't been doing it consistently. That's why I haven't gotten a payout yet. Now I'm transforming my beliefs in my mind with trading to lead to that result. And a big thanks again to Trading in the Zone, the book that I read, and my one subscriber who recommended I read that book. I think that everything happens for a reason in this universe. I believe in God. I believe in a designer of this universe. I don't think this universe is random. Which probably is conflicting to me saying that the Nasdaq's random. It's like, is it, or is it designed? I don't know. You can probably talk about that for hours. But I do believe for like our reality that we live in. Not to go too deep, which this one person was talking about being an electrical simulation. It's not a physical reality. When you feel and touch the table here that I'm on, it's just molecules in my hand hitting atoms, but there's really more space between the atoms, and there's physical atoms. Like the table appears solid, but there's actually space between all the atoms. Like it's just, we perceive it to be solid. So a lot of our perceptions on the market are just wrong. They don't align with the truth of what we're seeing. And this book kind of helps you like to transform your beliefs into like what is actually happening. Albert Einstein said energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be like transformed and changed. Well, the same thing applies to your beliefs. When you believed in Santa Claus when you were a kid and you found out that Santa Claus isn't real, your belief in Santa Claus didn't go away. It just changed. You still believe in Santa, just in a different way now. Now you don't believe in Santa the same way you believed in him when you were 5 years old, because Santa can't be destroyed. He was just changed in your thoughts. So your thoughts need to change in the same way of trading. If you're not profitable and consistent, they have to be changed. So hopefully, if you've been listening to me with these principles of consistency and fundamental truths, and you've been watching how I've been trading yesterday and today, and even when you watched me when I was trading bad, you still learn from that. You learn from watching other people's mistakes. And then I usually talk about why I was wrong in that trade, and it wasn't the market's fault, it was my fault. And if you're still in the thought process of, oh, the market was crazy today, like right now, people probably lost a lot of money and they're going to blame it on the market. The market just kept going up and down sideways. Then why were you trading it? Why did you place a trade then? That's not the market's fault. That's your fault. The market's the market. When you can point to your to yourself more, it's hard emotionally to do that because you're going to beat yourself up a little bit. but it's the right way to think about it. It's not the market's fault. We're all looking at the same market because there's people today that didn't lose money so far or made money. Why did they make money? And I know they could have just randomly placed a trade and got lucky, and that takes no skill, and there's truth to that as well. It takes no skill to put on a winning trade. Anybody can click the button and hit buy when it's going up, make a little money, and be done. You might as well just flip a coin, get a quarter out, flip it. If it lands on heads, I'm going to buy. If it lands on tails, I'm going to sell, and just do it. But what leads to like long-term success in trading and payouts, which is what the goal is, not to just have one winning trade. It's to think differently than how the people are thinking that are losing consistently. It's got to be that. What else would it be? We're all looking at the same market. Right now, the market just flirting with the bottom of the 15-minute range again, kind of came out below it just to pull back up. It's moving real slow right now. Not a lot of volume. Maybe I don't have a volume indicator. Not a lot of momentum or movement. So I don't know. Just until I see it like get outside, like I want to see the price get like above here or like below here. And then even when it gets below here, we got like this pivot point right here. So, I got no problem with this being a day where we possibly take no trades. We still got another 28 minutes. So we got 28 minutes where something can happen. But I'm okay with we showed up, we did our thing, and maybe we don't have a red day, we don't lose money, but we didn't make money. I don't know. We still got. I don't want to get ahead of myself because we still got another half hour here, and a lot can happen in 30 minutes with the Nasdaq, especially during New York session. The market, it's only been open for an hour. Could start seeing some stuff. So we're gonna see something regardless. I mean, it's just not common to see 21 EMA pushing above VWAP, below it, above it, below it. It's like it's a very non-momentum start so far. But that does not mean that's any indication that that's what's going to continue to happen for the next couple hours. As we know, the market can do stuff like this for a little bit and then shoot 150 points or 200 points. Like anything can happen. We're just going to be ready for whatever. That's all we can do. It's like guys that are full-time firefighters that sit in the firehouse for 12 hours. Like they live at the station. Not like me. I'm at home just a volunteer. But like if you were a firefighter for the city of Houston, those guys have no idea what to expect that day. Anything can happen. They're just sitting there and they're prepared. They're waiting for that alarm to go off. That's all we're doing. We're just sitting here and we're prepared and we're waiting. We're waiting to see what happens. Doesn't mean there has to be a fire. You could go a whole day, no fire in a big city. So market trying to push down into the 20,990s. Last night we had a meeting. We have a monthly meeting at the firehouse on the second Monday of every month. And I literally just signed up recently. So last night, for the first time, I got to try on an oxygen mask, like the whole mask with the air pack on the back, and strap it on. And you turn the valve and you grab the thing, and you hook it up to the mask and turn it, get your oxygen. You sound like Darth Vader when you're breathing through it. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I got to put the jacket on and everything. We just talked about we need to get new tires for one of the fire trucks. There's like $3,000 for tires. Some big tires. we have meetings on like how we're going to use the money and the budget to like buy things. We all have to like vote on it and agree as a meeting. This is just taxpayer dollars, so we can't, one person's not allowed to just spend the money however they want. They have to vote on it. So it's pretty cool. It was my first meeting. We had some brisket, some barbecue there ready. Somebody smoked some brisket, and in Texas, man, that's like the freaking thing to do. And it was good. It was like thick pieces. I just ate it with my fingers. Some pickles. Man, they had some good barbecue. I didn't even know that they were going to have food. I didn't know until I got there. I got there, and they had already been there for like a half hour eating. They said, oh, you could have got here a little earlier, but nobody told me. I wasn't in the group chat yet for that. They were like, oh, we have to add you to the group chat. Man. 9:37 Texas time. We got another 23 minutes. And if I look at the past, I mean, we've had some setups come in at 9:48, 9:46, 9:51. So get ready. You never know. Right now we're pushing down, trying to test these previous lows maybe, but I'm not just going to. I mean, some people's strategy would be if it breaks out below here, just get in and ride it down to here, but I don't know. I don't like the risk to reward on that because it's just so far from 21 day. I mean, kind of test here, and then over here, and over here again, and then I would kind of have to like go now if I was going to do that down. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to place a like a all right, let's just jump in and see what happens kind of trade. That's not how you trade. So if you start thinking to yourself, if you start having that thought, listen to yourself. Listen to your own thoughts. If your thoughts could be like projected onto a wall in writing, all right, let's just jump in and see what happens. And then you read that, let's just jump in and see what happens. That would sound terrible. Like what? Might as well go to the casino. All right, dude, I'm just going to put, $200 on red. Let's see what happens. Roll it. Yeah, I'm right. I won. Hey, that's cool. But are you going to consistently be able to do that, though, over the long term, or did you just get lucky? People that like make millions of dollars every year trading, they didn't get lucky. They're not lucky. They're following the rules and their discipline. That's how they were able to do it month after month after month after year after year. They did not trade with the let's see what happens. There may be a few trades in their career when they're like doing that and they got lucky, but they're not supposed to be doing that really. So market putting in a lower low here. We got this support area down here holding the price up so far. And I just kind of don't have an exact method on how to draw these boxes, but I just kind of like got it around these candles here, and that's why it's not like an exact line. It's just kind of like an area. So it's like, how do you know when to enter? Like I don't like that for an entry. Versus when we're trading on the 1 minute, when we do our trades, we kind of have an entry method like 927. I guess it's just, I didn't like that as a bear flag, but if this was a valid bear flag, we would come in here and draw a line at like the bottom of this candle and then slope it up like that. And then we would have like jumped in for a short right here. But that's not really like, that doesn't fit our entry method and our rules on the 2 minute chart and everything that was going on here. But that entry would have been like on this candle right here. But I didn't know if we were going to get stuck at the top of the range here again. I mean, at the bottom of the range at this 21,018 area, which would have been like right here. So our entry would have been 44 to 18. stop would have been at like 64 up, or maybe like 15 points like here or something. I don't know, 20 points of a stop loss. Entry right here at the 21,044. And then we could have like rode that down, but I don't know, just it's not really look at that price respecting that support area. And now it's like, all right, we could have bought here. You could have bought the dip, bought the low, and that's not how we do it. I don't buy the highs and lows. I don't try to time the market exactly at the. Some people will be like, oh yeah, Austin, why didn't you sell here? And why didn't you buy here? And why didn't you buy here? And why didn't you sell here? That's not, you can't do that. If you have some secret formula on knowing how to buy exactly at the bottom and the top, like, God bless you, good for you. And I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that try to talk about that. Maybe there is ways to do that. It's just a little bit too complicated for me. I try to keep it more simple. Maybe eventually I'll know how to do that. But right now, like with my method, like I want to see the market doing like lower lows, lower highs, where we're trying to get in here and here, like not exactly at the top, but once it starts to break out and push down and the market's trending in one direction or the other. But when the market is not really doing that, and we're just kind of like, I mean, it looks like bearish. Like it looks like it might want to do something like that. But we still got this support area here. I don't know. Like it looks like a bear flag right here, maybe. It's like, does it want to go? I don't like it because of this area. And I don't want to say like, oh, we gotta place a trade every day, because we don't have to place a trade every day. No trade's better than a bad trade. You know? It's testing me. Like, that's just not a sexy bear flag either on the 2 minute. Like, it's a steep pullback. You gotta stay below the 15-minute range, which is 21,018, which is where we're approaching. If we can get below 990, we might head on down. Our stop would be like 21,010. You know what I mean? If we can get one of these, then that would be the target, that pivot point. Because it looks like it's a bearish. Just got this support area though. All right, here we go. Jumping in short here. I'm going to try to grab two at like 15 points. And then we'll grab another two down here. Oops. We'll grab 2 down there. Taking 2 off there. Final target would be like definitely this pivot point down here at the 893s. $20,893. $21 EMA kind of protecting holding the price down. Moving our stop to break even. See if we can get this continuation. That candle did push down. It's like she wants to go downtown. There we go. We grab 10 points on that first contract, so we hit our minimum on the first two. We can't lose now. We're in the green and our stop's past break even. If we can get this continuation down to 20 points here. There we go, getting filled. Set our final 2 contracts right there, right above the wick of this candle. See if we can get some, if we can trail this now nicely. We're up over 200 bucks. There we go. Keep pushing down. We'll grab, keep it right there. We'll have 19 points on that one. Keep trailing. Let the market continue. Hopefully we get a break of structure down here. We can get through the support area. We can head down to this pivot point would be beautiful. And see what happens here. Up 270 bucks on the trade. Nice 1-to-1 trade so far. We get these last 2 contracts. Nice push. Break a structure, hopefully below this, into the through the 40s. Right now, testing 60s again. Come on. See if we can hold the price down here. There we go. We can get through the 40. There we go. Nice little pop down right there. Down to 33. See if we can get this breakout now to the downside. Beautiful. I'm going to keep our stops right there. Let the market continue to push down. All right, we got stopped out right there. So we got to break a structure up $200, $200 green trade. You know, again, not the best on those last two. It would have been nice to, maybe we should have bought those two down there on that pop down there and just got taken out, because what would that have been? 933s in at 90. That would have been 60 points. So maybe I was a little greedy there by not trailing that better. I should have trailed that better, honestly. That last two contracts, we should have trailed down to here and just... it's always good to be analytical and critical of even your green trades, because we could have won more money. I know you can always say that you could have made more. But honestly, we could have trailed that better, because this acting as a support area, it didn't have to break through. We'll see what happens here, but there's our one trade for the day. Green over $200. We hit another 1-to-1 2 days in a row. You know, nothing crazy. Again, I wanted to see more of like a $400 win. A 1-to-2 is really the target. And I don't know what we were up. I'd have to go back and watch the tape what we were up when we got down here to the 33s, but we got in at 89. Minus 33 would have been 56 points. You know, when we got this pop down, that would have been a good idea. Just, you know, drop that order down to here or something. Grab 50 points on that, right? Don't let it retrace and come back, especially when you have your unrealized gains being trailed on a funded account. You don't really want to do that. You want to kind of move it down more when you get that pop down. So there it is. Our entry was at 9:45 a.m. Texas time, 10:45 if you're on the East Coast. You saw it live here on YouTube, me sitting here for, you know, what felt like 2 hours waiting for this entry. I just, you know, we got our minimum of 10 points on this first one. The second one we got, break out a calculator. We grabbed 23 points on that second one, so I'm kind of proud of that one too. But those last two, we really should have got that pop down to here instead of making $72 on those two contracts. We would have made way more. I don't know what the math is, but we were probably up over $300 at the time when that happened. And you know, that's how you get that 1.5 to 2, 1-to-2 risk to reward. You gotta trail that better. So market pulling back up here now to 21 EMA possibly, but there it was. You saw what I did good. You saw what I did bad. You saw me win a trade. We're green. We're done. Hopefully you learned something. We're doing small size, only 6 micros on these trades, guys. When I go up to 12 and 18 contracts, you know, that's when you start getting into those $1,000 wins and you really start moving this account quickly. But I don't want to do that yet until I can consistently do what we did yesterday and today. And again, it's not the win part that I'm saying we got to do consistently. It's even though you do have to win consistently, it's the following the truths and the thinking and the discipline and the patience and the waiting for the setup. That part I want to do consistently, even when it leads to a losing trade. You know, we were in drawdown for a little bit here after we took those first 2 contracts, but the 21 EMA kind of held us in there. That's why my stop was slightly above it. I knew if we could stay below that, we could kind of get a nice continuation. So the only thing that I wish I would have done better on that trade is just trailed those last 2 a little bit better when it popped down here. I'm going to look at the chat now. I don't know if anybody's still in here. There we go. Sarif's here. Robert's here. Yeah, $200 winner. 100 subscribers. Let's go. Like it. Love it. I'm going to love it. Can I give myself some self-love? There we go. Self-love is the best love, by the way. You know, self-hate's got you out of shape. Consistency is the main goal. So we did it and we are happy with that. Feel proud, buddy. There we go. So we're still going to stay humble, but there's nothing wrong with being a little bit proud of yourself and giving yourself a little pat on the back when you followed your rules, you know? I wish we would have trailed those last two a little bit better, but hey, if that's all we got to do to get better now, those are just fine little adjustments, little tweaks, right? You know, when we got that pop down, just, you know, drop that order a little bit. You don't have to drop it all the way to where it just went to, but drop it to like here. You know, we would have got stopped out anyway, but we would have got stopped out more in the green there. And then honestly, maybe, you know, our entry was pretty good. Entry was good. And if we were at break even here and we were still in this trade right now, we would have got stopped out right here probably. So just how long would that trade been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was like a 6-minute trade, you know. Just trail those last two a little better. That's it. But anyway, we're gonna jump off of here. Another green day, another dollar. Some more experience added to my brain, just more experience. We're just experiencing what it is to be a trader and participating in the markets. Like whether you lose or you win, it's more experience. You have to just go through this to build experience. You simply have to put the time in. When you see these traders that have been trading for 6, 7, 8 years, they put the time in. There's nothing you can do besides show up every day and put the time in. It's 2025. Let's see where we're at in 2030. I'll have 5 years of experience as a trader. Like, oh my God, I can't even imagine where we'll be, right? So there it is. Hi, Austin. I think those truths you read out earlier made a lot of sense. The biggest truth for me is that on a minute-by-minute, hour-by-hour basis, I don't feel I can predict what will happen. Exactly. So basically, I don't try. I set orders to both enter and exit the position, and I let the market come to me, so I react to price action rather than trying to predict what will happen. Exactly. Uh-oh, Sharif said check your mic. Hopefully it sounds better now, but yeah, this is a cheap mic. I need a better one eventually, but there we go. Well, thanks for joining the stream again, guys. I love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. God bless. Tomorrow is Wednesday, January 15th. We'll be live at the same time to do it again. All right, later. Peace out. Adios.